Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back. So let's talk about the big news that came out yesterday, which is that The Walking Dead has officially started filming the final season ever. It's pretty big news. It really is. They released a photo, so we'll talk about the photo and I guess talk about really what to expect from the final season of this show because, these 6 new episodes coming out, they're not really going to advance the story too much. We are going to advance a little bit, obviously, because we are getting that Commonwealth episode, which is going to advance a little bit of a plot, right? Because the final season is to do with the Commonwealth arc, so we're going to get a little bit there, move forward a little bit. There's going to be some character stuff that moves certain characters and their storylines ahead, but in general, with the overall plot of the show, and then taking into account the comic arc, that's not going to advance too much in these 6 new episodes. This first episode, which is going to air this fall, this is the beginning of the end, right? This is the first day of the last season, and there's a lot to read into here in this photo. So before we go any further, obviously, I do have to let you know that this will contain spoilers kind of for The Walking Dead, and if you are new here, make sure to be a subscriber if you do want more Walking Dead content like this. The show is returning in like 19 days now. It's less than 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, really a week and a half until we get to watch that new episode, right? And I'll post my non-spoiler review that night. And yeah, The Walking Dead is back. It is very exciting. Now, we have this photo here of Alexandria. That's the windmill. I actually can't read the names. It's like Kevin Dowling, Duane Maxwell. Or I might have that wrong, but yeah, you see the picture of the princess on there and stuff like that. It's The Walking Dead. Like, yeah, anyways, they're filming this season, right? Now, this photo, I'm just a little confused at this photo, like just a little bit because of the fact that it's so burnt down. Like, am I going crazy, or did Alexandria not burn down or catch on fire at all? I don't remember Alexandria, the windmill anyways, looking like this, like at all. I don't remember this, unless this is from Hilltop. Does Hilltop have an actual windmill like that? Hold on, I gotta look this up. Yeah, so looking it up, that is Alexandria's windmill. It looks exactly the same, but what about the Hilltop? I don't think they have a windmill. I'm seeing a water tower, I'm seeing a lot of other things, but not a windmill. And like, am I going crazy here? No, this has to be Alexandria. There's no way this is the Hilltop. They wouldn't have a structure like that in the Hilltop that looks very similar to Alexandria. I'm just a little confused at why it's burnt down, because I don't remember that happening in the last few episodes. I know the Whisperers went through there, but I don't, unless they just set fire to it off screen, right? I don't get what happened here. This definitely could be explained in the 6 new episodes, but I also think it could be explained just as in like, this just happened off screen. The Whisperers set this on fire, and now they kind of have a reason to rebuild Alexandria, which I think is going to be, well, not even I think, it is definitely going to be the main plot, the main, focus of the first part of this last season, is that they need to rebuild now. Like, this is, like they've rebuilt for the future. Things were going so well after that 6-year time jump. The Whisperers came in and screwed shit up. Now they got to rebuild. And I think a lot of people might not want to. Some like characters like Carol might want to just leave. And I think that's where the Commonwealth comes in and Maggie comes in, and then the Commonwealth will offer a bunch of their resources, right? Because remember, they are a community of 50,000 people that expands across like a huge mass of land, right? They own, or I guess they're working with a lot of communities, and I guess that's probably what tallies up those numbers. I mean, they do have a big section of the city. They have a lot of resources. Like they're not like the CRM with the 200,000 people. It's nothing like that, but they do have a lot of resources, and so they can definitely rebuild here, and I think they'll be able to do it pretty fast. I think a lot of people in Alexandria will want to join the Commonwealth because of what they have to offer, but certain characters like Daryl and them aren't going to want to. Like, he'll want to do it himself, and I think that's where the turmoil comes in, right? Because the Commonwealth arc, like that community anyways, they're not really villains in the sense that they're not there to kill them all, right? They just have a totally different way in operating as a community, or I don't even know if you can say it's a community, like as a society, right? It really is going to come down to, does Daryl want to accept that and give up everything Rick fought for? And would Rick be okay with also doing that? Trying to make that decision for himself for the future of Alexandria and stuff. And it's going to be really impossible. I'm not going to spoil anything that does happen in the comic with it. For people who know, you guys know where I'm going with that. If you don't, it does get really interesting. I do wonder how they're going to do that. But I just can't believe this. I can't believe that this is the end. Like, the hype for this is unreal. Just seeing this photo, I can't even believe that this is the final premiere, right? That's the thing too that's pretty exciting about that, is that you know that by the time this first episode airs, what's going to happen in the story is likely they're going to start off in Alexandria trying to rebuild. Negan is probably going to be gone. Now, I don't think that he's going to be gone off the show because Jeffrey Dean Morgan is still filming. So I think the decision is going to be to exile him. He'll be gone, but there'll still be some way he winds up in the story again, whether or not he joins the Commonwealth or whatever, right? I think the Commonwealth, like, they're also going to be explored by Eugene and them in this episode. And there's going to be some other event that will happen because, like, remember, this is a premiere episode. Not a lot is going to happen. This is just going to set the stage for the rest of the final season. So we're going to get these little things like that. Like, they're going to introduce, like, what Negan's been up to, what they're planning to do with Alexandria. We'll see more of the Commonwealth. They're just going to introduce a lot of stuff, and then it might end in some type of cliffhanger. Nothing too crazy, and then that really is just it. That's the final premiere that we're ever going to see for The Walking Dead. I just can't believe it's ending. I really can't. Like, it is pretty insane. It's still a very long time away. It's probably going to end in, like, the end of November of 2022. So that's still, like, a really long time away. It's just, I can't believe we're already at this moment, which I guess does kind of, if they're already filming right now, that does mean that we are probably going to get a trailer for sure by Comic-Con. And I think the reason why they're filming right now is because with everything going on right now in the world, you know, you don't know if filming is going to be halted. So you want to get as much as you can done, like as fast as you can, right? So that's why they got to go and film all this stuff. They have to get all of this done. Now, I am interested in some of the protocols and stuff like that, because I know they had a lot of actors like 6 feet apart and stuff like that for these 6 episodes. Now, obviously, they can't do that the entire time. And I do think testing people, doing all that kind of stuff, it should be fine, right? Like I'm just thinking of the NHL. Like, you're still having a bunch of stuff happening with cases and stuff like that down there. And, you know, luckily here in Canada, everything's been fine. But, you know, in the US, there's a bunch of stuff going on. I imagine you just do a bunch of rapid testing and stuff like that, and you can kind of handle it that way. And this way, you don't have to really keep everyone 6 feet apart, because in sports, you're not doing that really, right? That'd be impossible to do. Now, a lot of questions I do have is, how is that going to affect the final season for, like, Walk is just like CGI, so they can just keep doing that. But a lot of them are just a bunch of extras. You're going to have a lot of people dressed up like walkers who've went to Nicotero's Walker University or school or whatever. Like, are you going to have that still? You know, I hope they do. There's definitely a lot of ways you can be safe and do all this stuff. So I'm just really curious, because I know they talked about that kind of stuff earlier last year anyways. And I wonder if any of that's changed now that, you know, like, people are getting a bunch of vaccines now, and that's just going around everywhere. You know, a lot of people are saying that things are much safer now for a lot of people in terms of doing stuff with that anyways. And I do think this is a good sign for the Rick movie too. Like, if they're already filming the final season of The Walking Dead, they can probably do the Rick movie, especially if they're starting right now. If they're already starting in February, right? February 8th, they start filming The Walking Dead. By the time it's May, they could easily start filming the Rick movie. And then once they do that, this show might be on a break for a little bit for filming. And then the Rick movie, like, yeah, that's the thing for Comic-Con this year. Definitely expect a Rick Grimes teaser, a release date announcement. There's going to be a bunch of stuff coming out. The trailer for the final season, like, it's pretty nuts. Last year just sucked. We didn't get anything, but this year there's going to be a lot to come out. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this photo. It blew me away seeing the photo. I really can't wait for the final season to air, but I can also wait. Here we are, right? The Walking Dead's ending. So I'll leave it here. Post all your thoughts down below. Let me know what you guys are thinking. And yeah, like, this is that photo. This is from the final premiere we are ever gonna get. And yeah, that's kind of sad, but it's also really exciting, right? So yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.